Hello, welcome to Folds of Paper. My name is Yvonne, and today we're going to talk about 3D origami basics. This is my first tutorial for the 3D origami floral arrangement series, and this one is titled Getting Started. And this is where we're going to talk about and learn how to cut, fold, shape, and connect the individual pieces to form your own piece of artwork. We're going to start out with paper like this, sheets of paper. Happens to be 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. It's the standard letter size or copy size paper that we use. It is also available in 9 by 12. That's very popular throughout the world, Europe, Asia, South America. I happen to use the 8.5 by 11. It's very convenient for our area to purchase. It's available at any stationery store, hobby shop, craft shop, or even a big box store. There's been times where I've had to rush and just went to a local 99-cent store to pick up a pack of paper because I needed it so quickly. I was on a project and I just needed just a couple more sheets to finish it up, and so that's what I did. It's also available online in various colors like you see here. I started out with white to practice and learn, and then I moved on to various colors to form different designs. It is available in different textures, different patterns. I do use solid colors because I have found that with solid colors, the design and the actual modules stand out on your project. And paper with designs on it, once you put all the pieces together, it seems to blend and you can't really see the detail of your work. So what we're going to do is start out with sheets of paper like this, and it's going to get cut down to size into various size pieces. Here's a large size, here's a small, and then these pieces are what get folded into the triangles like this. And then these are what are used to get shaped and then connected together, just like you would building blocks, and that's what you use to create your design. So we're going to go ahead and pause here so we can get ready, and we'll go over the first step of how to cut to size. Okay, so a lot of people ask, how do we go from a piece of paper to cutting it down to a rectangle, folding it, and then putting it all together into a project, in this case a floor arrangement, and that's what we're going to talk about. If you see here, you're going to see different size modules, so depending on how many pieces you can get out of one sheet of paper will determine what the size of the piece would be. And it's nice to have different sizes for larger flowers. In this case, this right here is a flower in progress. It's a sunflower in progress. And it has two size pieces. So the petals here are actually this size, which is a large. And then the back part of the flower is actually a medium size, like you see here. So I'm showing you a quarter so you can get an idea of scale of what we're looking at. The medium size module that what I'm using here. And also, if you look at this floral arrangement, these are smaller flowers, petals I should say, with using these smaller modules. And then these orange flowers are about the same size as this medium size module. So with the different sizes, you get different effects and different looks. And if you want to even get smaller, for smaller flowers, there's this size right here. As you can see, it can fit on a dime, so it's very, very small. You definitely have to do a lot of folding to get that small of a piece. So this is an example of what a small flower would look like. This flower is about the size of a quarter, so you can get a perspective about scale of what a large flower would look like versus a small flower. So now we're going to talk about how do we get to that size. So let's move this out of the way. And I have here a sheet of paper that's pre-lined and gridded for you so that you can get an idea of the size of the pieces. So basically we're going to get the sheet of paper and we're going to fold it in half lengthwise, and then we'll fold it again. So you have this rectangle piece of paper. And then once it's in a rectangle like this, you can fold it again to form a piece that looks like this. So this would be considered a large piece. So if we did that, we would be able to get 8 pieces out of this sheet of paper. So that's called a 1/8 piece of paper. So that would be considered large. If we continue folding the pieces, we would get smaller pieces like this listed here. So what we would do is we've already folded it lengthwise. What we're going to do is fold it this way, so that now you would get 16 rectangles in a sheet of paper. So if you did that, then the pieces would be this size. And if we continue folding in half, or what some people do and what I like to do is actually fold the pieces, fold the sheet of paper, in lengthwise like this, and then just cut here and here and here, and then you'll have strips of paper that you can fold over. You'll have a strip of paper right here like this, fold it over, and then fold it over again. And then this is, you can get the strips of paper and then you would cut it. Cut here, and cut here. And what you would end up with this size of piece of paper, which is called 1/16. So you'll have 16 pieces on one sheet. And then if you cut them and then fold them in half, you would end up with 32 pieces of paper as shown here gridded. So when we say 1/8, 1/16, 1/32 is just to let you know how many pieces of paper, pieces of rectangles you can fit on one sheet of paper. So this sheet that you're looking at with 32 pieces is enough to make a flower like this. That's fabulous, one sheet of paper. So to show, next step is to talk about folding the paper. So for our purposes, so it's a little bit easier to see, we're going to use the 1/8 piece of paper, which is this size like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of paper, the rectangle, and we're going to fold it in half. And then we're going to fold it in half again. And then we're going to open up and you're going to see that there's a line in the middle, and that's going to be our guide to form our triangle. So we're going to take this corner and we're going to follow this line and just fold it in half at an angle. Fold the other half at an angle so that you can form a triangle. I'm going to fold and fold. And then when I turn it around here, you're going to see these little flaps here. These are going to fold over as well. This. It's going to look like a little hat or a little boat. And then these corners right here, those are going to get folded as well. So those are just going to get folded in on the outside. And I do that just so that it can form a crease and follow the line of the triangle. But what's going to happen is you're going to fold those inwards like this, and then fold the flaps together in, so it'll be a nice, smooth, even line for the triangle. And then this piece, we're just going to fold it over, and that's how we get a triangle. So we're going to do this again. So we're going to get your size rectangle. So this will be the same no matter what size of rectangle you have. It could be this 1/8 piece, or it could be a 1/32 size piece. So we're going to fold it in half, fold it in half again, so that we can get that nice line in the middle. That's our guide. And then we're going to fold it, flip over the flap at the bottom, fold, fold at the edges, form your crease, fold, fold, fold in half. Now we have a triangle. So if you notice this triangle, it's very flat, but yet these pieces that we look at in the flowers, they are pretty full. So that's what we talk about shaping, so that when you fit a piece, it becomes full like that. And this is what a full origami shape looks like. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So what I do is I get several pieces of triangles like this and connect them together like this. It's one after another. And this is what I use for my shaping. And what we do is we take a triangle and we're going to fit them together. So when you see the triangle folded, it opens up like this. This section right here, I call them the prongs. And then if you look at the back side, you have little pockets, and that's where the modules fit together. So here's the prongs, and then they fit together like that. And then see here, I use either a pen or a tool to help shape, and you can push through like that, and that's where you get this nice shape like you see on the flowers. Now when you're on your projects, you don't have to do that. I do that so it can form the nice shapes that you see here. There's some times where you want that edge on it and to look straight, like on the flowers here, it's kind of have an edgy look to it. You can do that. Just depends on what kind of look you're looking for. So that last step is actually connecting the modules. So we're going to pause here. If you want to get together a few pieces and fold a few of them, I'm going to pause here, give you a few minutes to fold, and we'll come back and I'll show you how to connect the pieces. All right, so here I have a container of pre-folded modules, and there's going to be different sizes. I happen to have different colors in here. So here's the medium size that we looked at earlier. This is a smaller size. These are the ones that look, modules that look flat, just triangles. And then if you notice these right here, these look a little bit more shaped. So this is one of the triangles where I use my little tool there to shape them. So I'm going to take a module here that's not shaped yet, so you can have an idea of what it looks like when you shape it. So here's a small triangle that's flat. So I'm going to use the tool, and I'm going to use the prongs to fit into the pockets. Like that. And then it's kind of forms it a little bit, but then I'll use a pen. I have another tool that's rounded or you can use anything that you want that has a curved end, makes it a little bit easier, like the back of the pen, and you can fit it in. And now you have the formed piece. So depending on if you want to have a straighter edge module or a rounded one, that's a personal choice. As far as each individual module, you'll just use the prongs and fit them into the pockets, like so. This is the back side, and then this is the front side. So that's stacking them up together. Once you stack them up, it saves a little bit of space for storage. I have these here ready to go, depending on what style of shape I'm looking for. Now, to form the connections to go across, that's what we're going to talk about next. So when you're holding your modules, to connect the pieces, you can either hold it this way, or you can turn around and hold it this way. I found with the pieces, especially smaller ones, it's easier just to hold it this way in your hand. So you can put side by side two modules, and we're going to take another module and we're going to fit the two together here. So going to fit the two pieces into one. And then this is what it looks like when you have the pieces together. And what will happen is you can just keep going one after another, connecting, and you just keep getting more and more pieces connected together until you get the length that what you're looking for. So if I turn it this way and hold it, I can just keep adding one after the other. And you just, on this side, you can see what it looks like, and then the front side, that's what it looks like. And you just keep going with your rows until you get a row long enough where you can form a circle, and you'll get your first row of set of whatever project you're working for. This particular one happened to be 34 pieces in a row. So what that would mean is if you see this bottom piece row here, it would be 34 of them wrapped around and then connected together. And then from there, you would build up. If you're working on a flower, you would just keep going in a circle. On our next video, when we talk about the flowers, this will be the basis of connection. And then you'll see how to connect the circle and form your actual flower. So thank you so much for visiting Folds of Papery today. If you have any questions, comments, ideas about what we talked about today, if there was anything that you were interested in of how to do, please reach out to me. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you so much for visiting today. Please subscribe. Super appreciate that. Until the next time, which will be the second tutorial, will be how to connect and create a basic flower and then a variation of a theme. And we'll continue from there. So until then, my name is Yvonne, and happy folding.